Okay, so we have some more star practice annotating and answering questions. This text is actually a letter. So it's almost like an expository slash personal, letter to the principal from a student. And after we finish reading this, I want to know what student wrote this. This is awesome. We'll get to that in a minute. Also, 8 questions came with this, and that's a lot of questions to go with one text. So what I did was I made another video. This time you're not going to take it on a separate Google quiz. You're going to actually take it on paper because I want to see your evidence. The last one that you did about the blink of an eye, many of you did really well on that one. I want to see what you get on this one because this one's a little bit longer, and the diagrams and the graph is a little bit more complex. So remember, always write your evidence on your answers. Again, you can watch the video for the questions. And I have put these little hints. This is something that I want you to do when you get your test and you look at the answers. You look at the questions before you start to answer. Okay, we'll get to that in the other video. First of all, composting. We look at the title. It's not composing. Please look at the word. Many of you may not be even familiar with this word, composting. We'll look it up in a minute, but you need to see that it is a letter, has a picture, has a table, has these breakdown charts here. And these are actually posters that she's made for the cafeteria. Okay, let's start. We're going to annotate the first one together, and then the second one you're going to stop the recording and then do it on your own and then match up with mine after you start the recording again. Okay, dear Principal Collins, as president of Truman Middle School Beautification Club, I am very concerned about the environment. I realize that some of my past ideas about making the school more eco-friendly may have been viewed as a little extreme by some and unrealistic by others. Although I still believe wholeheartedly that you should find space in the budget to replace our school's toilets with low-flow, water-saving ones. However, our club has a simple, low-cost, environmentally friendly idea that will pay for itself in just a few months. Okay, so right now, this president of a beautification club, that right there, the root word is beautiful. She's trying to make her school look better. And she's concerned about the environment. She says, I realize some of my other ideas, these eco-friendly, again, because she's concerned about the environment, may have been viewed as extreme or unrealistic. So whatever she said before might have been over the top because people think that it's extreme and not in reality what she wanted to do. And, she's liking the toilets being low flow, water saving. But now she's got a new idea. It's a simple, low cost, environmentally friendly idea that's going to pay for itself. So that means it's low cost and the school won't have to pay because it's going to pay for itself somehow. Let's see what that is. So then this is her new idea. Her new idea is all of these things. Sounds really good. Let's find out what it is. When you hear the word composting, the first thing that probably comes to your mind is a distinct odor, a cross between rotting banana peels and old coffee grounds. And yes, if not properly maintained, a compost pile can smell bad and attract pests. In fact, compost piles can develop a variety of problems, but in most cases, the causes and solutions can be identified easily. Please refer to the table that I've included. If tended to regularly, a compost pile can transform food scraps and other organic materials into wonderfully fresh, nutrient-filled dirt. Okay, go ahead and stop the recording, get your dictionary out, and start annotating. Okay, so you should have looked up composting. Now, again, are we going to find the word composting in the dictionary? Right. No, you're not going to find it in there. So the word compost is going to be in there. So please do not mistake it with, because I saw this word and I thought, oh no, I hope nobody thinks it's that one. It's not. It's compost. That will direct you in a whole different direction. Okay, so compost is the mixture of decaying material. It's made for fertilizer. So she's trying to get the school to go along with her idea of making a compost pile so they can save money. Now, she says that when you hear compost, you might it might come to mind a distinct odor. That means a clearly defined, like a specific, a definite odor that comes along with this composting. And it's not good because it's like rotting things, because it's decaying. Rotting banana peels, it's rotting food. Exactly. But she says if it's tended to regularly, it means if it's taken care of, it can transform like rotting this food into a wonderfully fresh, nutrient-filled dirt where you can grow other things, plants, even other vegetables. And here's her plan here about problems with the pile. So right off the bat, she starts saying here, I know that there's some trouble, but here's some solutions. So here's what it looks like. It's like a crate, and then all the things go inside of it. And here's some common problems. Bad odor, breaking down materials too slow, attracting flies and other pests, it's not warm enough, or it's warm only in the center. Now, when it gets warm, of course, it's breaking down the material, and you have to put them in a certain way, and you have to only put certain foods, and that'll be explained later. Here's some causes for these problems, and then here's the solution. So it goes right along here. If you got bad odor, it means it's not enough air, or too much green material, or it's too wet. And here's the solution. Mix the pile, add some brown material, or use less water. So she gives a pretty good, idea of here's the problem. I know this is the problem. Now here's the solution. It goes down the line there. Okay. Paragraph 3. As I'm sure you know, composting turns kitchen and yard waste into something usable once it's added to soil. A chemical reaction happens when things like grass clippings, orange peels, and newspapers are layered in a certain way. When these materials break down, the resulting substance is compost. Our club created the diagram below, and pending your approval, we'd enlarge the diagram and post it in the cafeteria. All right, go ahead and stop the recording, make some notations. Okay, so this was a short paragraph, but really it has a lot of information. It tells you what composting is. It turns this kitchen waste and yard clippings into something useful. And then it says how it's done. It's by a chemical process. And it breaks down into this resulting substance is called compost. And this is a great diagram of how having these two materials go into the pile. When you add these two elements, it breaks down. Look, that's a worm. And then the resulting substance is this compost, this rich nutrient soil. Composting has a surprising variety of benefits for the soil. But the positive effects of composting go well beyond that. When compost is made, trash in landfills is reduced. This is important because this is important because landfills and garbage dumps have limited space, but the amount of trash we throw out continues to expand. According to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, homes and businesses add about 31 million tons of garbage to landfills each year. If our school implements our composting idea, we could send less trash to the landfills. And if students see us composting at school, they will want to start a compost at home as well, further reducing the waste in landfills. Okay, go ahead and stop, annotate. Okay, now when she's finished talking about how to do it, now she's talking about the benefits of this. One of the benefits is that the trash in the landfill is going to be reduced. So I put the trash is going to go down. The trash level, I guess I should put level, goes down here. Because not only at school, but she's saying that if kids see her doing this at school, then they're going to want to do this at home. Now, does she have any evidence to support this? That's going to come up in a question. Hint, hint. Okay, enough about that. Moving on. Composting would also give us the opportunity to create something useful, rich soil for growing plants and vegetables. We wouldn't have to purchase fertilizer anymore for the plants at our school grounds to grow healthy and strong. Instead, the Truman Beautification Club could produce compost and then use it on our own vegetable garden, flower beds, and around our trees. Go ahead and stop and annotate. Okay, so you should have noted that this is an opportunity to create something useful. They wouldn't have to purchase fertilizer. So this is a way that she's saying that this school could save money. So not only helping the environment, now they're saving money. Okay, composting could be very economical for the school when you consider the expenses on ground maintenance and trash disposal will decrease. The savings generated by composting could be spent on other resources, such as books and technology, yay books, or even low-flow toilets. Okay, that goes on to 7. So we'll go ahead and stop here, quickly annotate. Okay, economical is one of those words that we're going to be asked about because it was already underlined. I looked it up. Economical is actually in the dictionary, so don't look under really economic. You can look under the actual word. It means it's not wasteful. So she's saying it's not wasteful because they can save money again and spend that money that they saved on books and technology. Mrs. Wilson, the cafeteria manager, supports the idea of composting because she sees how much food is wasted every day. According to research, much of the school's trash is made up of organic waste. That is a lot of pizza crust that could be making compost. Students eating in the cafeteria could be encouraged to compost with easy to understand signs like the ones below that show them what to do with their trash. Let's go ahead and do this one together. So here she has another expert. Well, she has another source. The cafeteria manager, she supports the idea because a lot of the trash could be put in the organic waste. Now, it's like the trash cans that we have at home, the recycle, the regular trash, and the organic. Only certain things go in there, like these. Yard clippings, fruit and vegetables, nuts and seeds, tea bags, coffee grounds, coffee filters, and paper products. That's what goes in here. These don't. Anything metal or plastic, meat or fish does not go in there. So here she's supporting. She thinks it's a good idea. Lots of the trash. She supports it. Okay. We could also strengthen our sense of community if we involve parents, grandparents, and neighbors in our efforts. They could add items to the compost pile. Master gardeners and local businessmen or businesses could donate their time or supplies. In time, our school's compost could be sold in fundraisers to support other eco-friendly projects. I'm just going to move on, keep going. Thank you for your consideration to our idea to implement our composting program at Truman. The Beautification Club would be happy to get started immediately on making flyers about the simple steps for starting a compost pile. Sincerely, Katie Blanco. All right, go ahead and stop there. Okay, you should have just noted here that the 8th paragraph, again, talks about how good this project is because it can save, it can make money actually if they sell the compost to people, and also it can strengthen community.